Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarel van Grenen, aka Mr. VG, and welcome to our third video about the basics of algebra. In this one specifically, we're going to look at an exam type question about polynomials, but specifically looking at the different kind of terminologies they love to use inside of algebra. Because these terminologies, when you get to grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, it forms the basics of all mathematics used. So we're going to throw around some terms and you have to understand them and get them. So please make sure that you've watched the previous two videos about polynomials, etc., etc. But let's dive into a wonderful example. This example, you are given the following three expressions, A, B, and C. Which of the three expressions are polynomials? Now, for this, you need to have watched the previous two videos. If I look at the first expression, and I just like to put in the different powers there, there's actually a little 1 there on top of the x. There's a little 1 there in the exponent. There's a 2 and there's a 3. So yes, that is definitely a polynomial. If I look at the B part, there's a 2 there at the top. There's a 1. There's a 1. That 2 doesn't even have an x or y, so that's fine. So that's a polynomial. But the C part, oh my goodness, has a bit of an issue. Okay? The C part has got a root x in it. Therefore, it is definitely not a polynomial because of that root x. There I've answered the A question. Now the question that they ask is, what is the value of the constant term of B? What is a constant term? Well, that is a term that has no variables in it. So if I look at the three expressions, in expression A, there isn't a single term that has got no term in it that has no x or y in it. Okay, I was falling over my words there a little bit, my apologies. In A, there isn't a term with no x or y in it, so it has a constant term of plus 0. Or just 0. In the B one, there's a plus 2 there that doesn't have an x or y in it. So that is my constant term. In the C, there's, oh, I made a little mistake. Whoopsie, that happens. The 5 shouldn't be 5, but it should be negative 5. Because the negative 5 doesn't have an x or y. But specifically, the question asks for in B. So that answer is positive 2. Now the next one is where life becomes a little bit interesting. Give the coefficient of x squared in the expression B. So the coefficient is everything that is with the x squared in the term. So if I look at the expression B, let me just erase it a little bit there. Let me clean it up this a little bit. Which term has an x squared in it? Well, the x squared over 3. I don't like to have x squared over 3, so I'm going to remember that there's a 1, a little imaginary 1 in front of the x squared. So I'm rather going to write it as 1 over 3 times by x squared. Now that makes it easy. If I kind of hold the x squared closed, I close it off. What else is in the term? Well, 1/3. And that is the coefficient of x squared. So if I want to find the coefficient of a variable, I find the term in that expression that has it. I close off what I want, so the x squared, and whatever is left in that term, that is the coefficient. So go and try D for me. What is the coefficient of y in the expression of A? So which term has only a y in it? Or not only, but has a y in it? Well, let's look. There is negative 2xy. Now some of you might go, but sir, there's one that has a y to the 3. Exactly, it has a y to the 3, not a y. We are specifically looking for a y. Okay? So now if I close off the y, because I want to look what is with the y in the term. So if I close it off, I'm left with negative 2x. And that is the coefficient of y. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a typical exam type question. 5 to 6 marks, easy score marks if you study hard. So if you've got any further questions, first go and practice and make sure you can do this. Tune into our next videos where we're now going to start looking at different expressions, adding them, subtracting them, multiplying, dividing, all of those wonderful things. So this is Mr. VG signing out. Have a beautiful day on your side. Cheers.